Hello, I am Mosquito Squisher 7, and here I have a late entry for the Allspark Assembly 2022 with my transforming versions of three Power Miners vehicles: the Stone Chopper, the Mech, and the Granite Grinder. Now, let's get to it, I guess. First, we have the Stone Chopper. You can kind of put a minifigure behind here, grab on the handlebars, or piece it a little further back. There's a couple studs there. Rolls okay, not quite as well as the original. The saw blades are not both linked up to the center wheel anymore. Here you can see a couple different angles. For size comparison, we have a minifigure and a Studio Series Deluxe. Now for the transformation. First, we're going to take these little stand pieces and flip them out. We're going to take the seat and flip it up, and we're going to straighten out this whole back section. Then we're going to go over here, kind of separate the arms like this. We're going to pull this out, like so. We're going to rotate this 180, and then we're going to bring the arms down, flip up these shoulder panels, push the engine block back in, and flip up the head. So here is the Stone Chopper. As you can see, he has a wheel instead of separated legs and feet. I didn't really feel like I had space to include separated legs and feet and still include the rather large wheel for such a small vehicle. So I kind of got the idea from a couple Revenge of the Fallen designs, especially Scavenger and Demolisher. Doesn't really have elbows, but there's a handful of Technic pieces around the shoulders that give you good range of motion. These things can kind of rotate. The head nods, you can get some articulation on the bottom part like that. And since those saw blade pieces actually have 3.2 millimeter clips, he can actually hold things like this. Next, we have the Mech. That's a little bit more cramped than in the original, but you can still stick a minifigure in the roll cage. Still got the dynamite and the pickaxe off to the side. I added a couple points of articulation that weren't in the original set, such as right here and right here and right here. So yeah, there's like ball joints on the hips and ball joints on the feet, ball joints on the arms. It's got the claw, little saw blade. And the cockpit kind of opens, but it's easy to kind of mess it up on this one. due to the way it's constructed for transformation and stuff. And here is the back of the Mech alternate mode. For size comparison or something, here is a Studio Series Deluxe and a minifigure. So the Mech's already kind of a vaguely humanoid shape, but I kind of tried to differentiate the two modes. You're going to start off by straightening out the legs. You're going to pull this down like this. Utilize the new joint. That's going to become like a knee. And rotate that around. Do the same on the other side. Okay. So now we're going to pull up the roll cage bits. And we're going to use stud friction to rotate these equipment pieces. And then we're gonna flip this whole section up. And then we're gonna flip up the head. And we're gonna rotate these ball joints around and flip this up. Roll it around, flip this over. And lastly, we're going to take these roll cage pieces and we're going to twist them around into a set of auxiliary arms. So here we have the Mech in his robot mode. He's got most of the same articulation as the alternate mode. The auxiliary arms are very articulated, although they have a little bit of a hard time supporting their own weight, especially if they're like holding stuff. As I mentioned before, these new joints can work as knees, not just for transformation purposes. And here's his backside. Not much articulation for the head. You can kind of nod or look down or whatever. Lastly, we have the Granite Grinder. It's a treaded vehicle. You can still roll it with the treads and stuff. Can still fit a minifigure in here, like this. See? The jackhammer function has been removed for this. I'll let you see the back here. Got these canisters, the little hook for the trailer. So this is the Granite Grinder alternate mode. For size comparison, here is a Studio Series Deluxe and a minifigure. So for transformation, first thing you're going to do is pull down the jackhammer part and pull this up. This white thing right here is going to be the head. Rotate this around. Next, we're going to, right here, untab this and do the same on the other side. These are going to be the legs. We're going to pull out the feet. And on on this side, pull out the foot, rotate down the heel strut, straighten out the legs. So on this side, we're going to take this little bow here, and there's just enough room to use stud friction to pull this out. And we're going to do the same on the other side. Now we're going to take this roll cage here, and we're going to pull it up over the head and just put it back here. Then we're going to take this little tow hook piece and we're just going to flip that down. Next, we're going to pull these parts up. They're going to be the arms, and flip up these canisters. We're going to straighten out the arms and tuck in these pieces. Going to pull up the spotlight. Lastly, we're going to pull down the arms at the shoulders here. Like so. And so we are going to now put them right here because we are done. So here he is. For articulation, you can kind of move the head side to side, up and down a bit. It's on one of those pneumatic T-pieces. You can move the arm out like this. A couple joints in here. It's got the axe on one arm and the spotlight on the other. Doesn't really have much in the way of knees, but there's a couple Technic pieces here for more angles on these, and you can angle the foot and stuff. Having the treads on the sides of the legs kind of hampered my ability to add knees. And I'm going to be honest, the canisters kind of hinder the leg articulation a bit. There's one more feature he has. You can remove this jackhammer piece, and you have the option to take this, straighten it out, and there's a place right here where you can hold this thing and use it as like a pike or something. Here we have the three of them together, and for scale I have this thing here. The stone chopper is about 11 modules tall at the head. My Mech is also about 11 modules tall at the head, but he's got more stuff above the head and he's wider, so he's bigger overall. And the Granite Grinder is about 16 modules tall at the head. And for other size comparisons, here they are with a minifigure. Here they are with Bumblebee movie Bumblebee. Here they are with a Studio Series Deluxe. And here they are with Blitzwing. And so, there you have it. A late entry for the 2022 Allspark Assembly. I made these a while ago, but I thought I'd make a video for the event, seeing as what the theme is. Goodbye.